Since my last video where I took a PBS poll was so well received, I thought I'd try it again, this time with a quiz called Are You Sexist? Now, I know what you're already expecting. This quiz is ridiculously biased, with most of the questions either very poorly worded or worded in such a way that there really isn't any answer I can legitimately pick. And you'd be right about that. So keep that in mind as I take this quiz, explain my answers, and then you get to see the results. The link to the quiz is in the description, so go take it yourself and let me know how you did in the comments. Many women have a quality of purity that few men possess. Nope. There is no difference between men and women. Some are pure, some are not. Isn't that what equality is all about? We treat everyone the same and think of everyone the same. So, I strongly disagree. Women should be cherished and protected by men. Again, no. I mean, men can if they want, but this is an equality issue. Men are not automatically the protectors, nor should women automatically be the protected. Equality for all, strongly disagree. Women seek to gain power by getting control over men. Well, this is one of those questions I can't really answer because some women clearly do, and some women clearly don't. Just look at a lot of vocal feminists who absolutely want power over men. There's no question whatsoever that this is the goal of some women. But I can't answer the question in general because it's impossible to generalize. So I had to say somewhat agree. Every man ought to have a woman whom he adores. Well, what about gay men? What about men who simply aren't interested in having a relationship? Alright, the majority of people are straight, and I think of those the majority do want a relationship, hence I said agree somewhat, but this is another question that really doesn't work because you can't generalize. Men are incomplete without women. No. Now, it depends what you mean by complete. Can men live without women? Sure. Will the human species continue to survive if all men do that? No. So at some point, men and women are required to be together if for no other reason than the continuation of the species. But that doesn't mean that men inherently have to have women, nor that women inherently have to have men. So there's a lot of people who go through life without partners, and they do just fine. And of course, gay men don't need women at all. So I'm going slightly agree. Women exaggerate problems they have at work. Well, which women? We absolutely know that there are women out there who do that. I mean, air conditioning is sexist, anyone? But how many women is that? 20%? 50%? I hope it's not that high, so I went with slightly agree. And this is just another really horrible question. Once a woman gets a man to commit to her, she usually tries to put him on a tight leash. This is really badly phrased. Once a man and a woman are committed to each other, there are controls that each has on the other through societal expectations and norms. So this is actually true of both men and women. You're expected not to cheat on the person you're committed to. You're expected not to beat them. You're expected not to steal from them or rape them. Does that count as a leash? I don't know. Slightly agree. When women lose to men in a fair competition, they typically complain about being discriminated against. Again, we see feminists pulling this crap all the time. The whole gender wage gap bullshit is just an example of this. But again, you can't generalize about all women because I think most of them are fine with fair competition and they're fine with losing a fair fight. It's just the regressive crazies who think that equality of outcome matters more than equality of opportunity, and those are the people who cause problems. Slightly agree. Many women get a kick out of teasing men by seeming sexually available and then refusing male advances. This is really getting monotonous. Absolutely and without question, you have cock teases. That's why there's a word for it. But how many women? Not many, I wouldn't think, so I had to say slightly agree. But these questions really mean nothing, and they have no good answers. Women, compared to men, tend to have a superior moral sensibility. Hell no. As with the first question, men and women are equal, neither of them have any superiority over the other. You don't get equality by saying, I'm better than you. Strongly disagree. Men should be willing to sacrifice their own well-being in order to provide financially for the women in their lives. Now, I fought with this one for a while. Yes, men should be willing to sacrifice their own well-being to provide for those important to them, just like women should be willing to sacrifice their own well-being to do the same. And since it's phrased as willingness, not a requirement, I had to go with strongly agree. Feminists are making unreasonable demands of men. Well, absolutely they are. And that doesn't mean that all demands they make are unreasonable, but it doesn't say all, it says demands. If they make any unreasonable demands of men, you have to strongly agree. What is your gender identity? From here, it's all personal identification, which I don't know what any of this has to do with being sexist. I mean, you either are or you're not, right? Okay, but yeah, I'm male. Please identify your age range. Okay, I still fall into the 35 to 50 age range. What does that have to do with anything? Somebody who gave the exact same answers as I did, but said they were under 30 or said they were 88 and above, would they not get the same score? Do you live in the United States? Yes, I live in the United States. If I lived in Canada, would I be less sexist? What is the highest level of education you have attained? I have a couple of advanced degrees. Big whoop-de-fucking-do. Please identify your household income. Okay, I make a lot of money. So the hell what? Okay, we finally get to the results, and as I expected, all of those really badly worded questions came back to haunt me. Apparently, my quote-unquote hostile sexism is very high because I have experience with radical feminists, and I know that some women, are assholes. But some men are assholes too. Does acknowledging reality make me a sexist? Of course not. But this quiz doesn't allow you to differentiate between some women and all women. There are no degrees. There's no differentiation. It's just women as a monolithic group, and the world just doesn't work that way. And if you read through the comments, pretty much everybody points out what is a completely biased disaster. This is ridiculously and blatantly obvious. So I went through this quiz again, this time answering that women are perfect in everything that they do, and that I was female, and I ended up getting a big fat 0 on hostile sexism. Apparently, the only way to win is not to play. So, was I totally off base and earned that score, or was this whole thing rigged from the start? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all next time.